How does it feel after coming so close the past few years and then finally getting over the hump?
I think I've taken second, fourth, third, and finally today, 2016, finally got over that hump. So that's a good little bonus for me. I mean, like, it's a tournament, you gotta take it the same, just one match after another, but it felt really good to finally put it together and put some good matches in.
What's it like kind of training to get back here and knowing you've been so close and now obviously a great match here again in the championship? Has it been discouraging, coming so close?
Well, discouraging's not the best word to say it. Like, it's definitely frustrating to know you've been like that close, and then finally get it done. It's definitely been motivating this year. This is my fourth year out of college still wrestling, so it's just like, let's get it done finally. So it felt good to finally really make that happen. I ain't been in the finals in 3 years, so it was definitely motivating, not necessarily discouraging, to have those close matches all the time and finally getting it done.
Have you been tweaking anything training-wise or kind of your style-wise to maybe get above the hump here this year?
As far as this year, not necessarily. I mean, I was training at App for 2 years, great partners. It's in the elevations like 3,300 feet, so I'm used to this kind of training. The only difference now I'm training in Nebraska is the partners. The coaching, both John Mark Bentley at Appalachian State, great coach. Coach Manning at Nebraska, great coach. They are willing to work with you. So I think it's been more of a personal reflection on, am I going to put it together this year, not necessarily the coaching.
And then lastly, you're one of the old guard now. What's next? What do you keep working towards?
Well, no one trains to lose. That's all I always say. I mean, obviously I want to make the Olympic team this year. Who knows what's going to happen after that? I still really, really strongly want to go into missionary work. That might happen in wrestling. It might happen in India somewhere. But as far as my goal directedness towards being the best, I want to be the best missionary. I want to be the best wrestler. That has not changed over the years at all.
So you could, missionary-wise, overseas in America, what are kind of your interesting question of that? Nick Specs, what's kind of your vision for that, I guess?
Yeah, anything with young people. I like to skateboard. I like to, play guitar. Anything that I can connect with kids or adults, do it through those atmospheres, including wrestling. I think I've been put in a leadership position for a purpose. So winning or losing, I want to be the one who's setting the example of how you act, regardless of those roles.
Can you take me through that last match there? I mean, it came down the wire, you and Win.
Yeah.
How'd you pull it off?
Well, I'm just trying to keep the pace up. I mean, you saw the last couple minutes of the match. You could definitely tell the difference between the first 3 minutes and the last 3 minutes. First 3 minutes I was up. Last 3 minutes I was kind of trying to keep my lead. And that's why he was able to catch up with me. That guy knows how to adjust. He's been in this situation before, not necessarily the finals at the Schultz, but close matches. So it just really came to just trusting in my defense and trusting in my coaching to really get that match to win.
What does this do for you heading into trials coming up?
Right, that'll be my next match, will be in the trials. So this gives me a lot of confidence. There's 80% chance we're going to wrestle again.
Yep.
So it's always my goal to keep it in the wrestler's head. And oh man, I got to wrestle Austin again. That's the kind of mentality I want to have. That's the kind of mentality I want my opponent to have when they wrestle me. And I think I was able to do that a little bit. Him maybe being able to come back a little bit at the end may have gave him a little bit more confidence, but that just gives me more confidence knowing that even though I wasn't being offensive, I was still able to do that kind of win. So if I can put together, that's what's going to have to happen in these next couple months. Put together so I know that if I keep my offense going for a full 6-7 minutes, I'm going to be on top.
Absolutely. Anything else?
What sort of mental training do you do outside of the mat? Anything there, to keep you sharp, to build your mental toughness, anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I love doing sauna sessions. I like reading, studying philosophy in school, and just challenging my mind. That always keeps me very, very goal-directed, even in wrestling. It might not sound that way, but just always challenging my mind, just kind of challenging people's worldviews and challenging how I view my life and what on earth am I doing here, for heaven's sake.
So. And what about is there any sort of concussion protocol that you've had to go through at any step? I don't know, whether in college or around here now, and have you had any history with concussions?
So the protocol I went through in college, my first year, second year, and third year, they do a concussion test. They run you through a series of numbers, colors, mathematical equations, simple math.
Any idea what that was called?
I'm not sure what it was called, but
Okay,
I know that's what it was for, though. It was for
Yeah.
concussions.
Yeah,
And my teammates in college, if they ever had a concussion, they would always compare the test you took at the beginning of the year to the one you took if you had a concussion.
Yeah.
And then that will like determine if you can wrestle that year
Yeah.
or sit out 6 months.
Yep.
I'm not sure what it's called, but that was the.
Okay. And you said that was your first, second, and third year. What about your
Well,
fourth?
no, I mean it happened every year.
Oh, it happened every year.
That's-
Okay.
I'm just.
Okay, all right,
yeah,
great.
sorry.
All right. And have you had any history with concussions?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. Okay. And no sort of lingering aversion to light or anything like that, and no problems like that?
I mean, I believe I'm a ninja, and that might have been because I had the injury when I was a kid, but that's about it.
Okay. Any long-term concerns or anything like that with wrestling?
I have no long-term concerns of any injuries that I have right now. No.
Great. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Congrats on the win.